What is up, everybody? We are back. Great Lakes Hot Takes. Oh, I didn't update the episode number or name.
Oh
Great
no.
Lakes Hot Takes episode 5. Um, and unfortunately, Lunges wasn't able to make it today, but that's okay because we have Booker here with us again, who you guys will remember from last week, here to take his job.
I'm convinced he's stuck in Texas still. Texas has claimed yet another life. Everybody got stuck there. It's really funny. You know, Nuclear's actually still stuck there. His flight's not till 7.
Wow,
It's
that's
7 CST. He's still there. It's awful.
dang. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought Onan's first day of school was on Monday, so I think he missed it.
He
but
went to school on Friday. He was at school Friday.
yeah, so that that sucks.
It's funny, I gotta say. Yeah, we ate lunches. I'm so sorry, Twitch chat. He's gone.
Yep. All right. How you doing today, Booker?
I'm good. You could tell my voice is gone. Screaming for my voice. The goats, Raven King, Onan, all of our guys. Rocky, whenever he doesn't lose the Kazuya, gotta love him. So I'm good. It's traveling. It's like 9-hour drive from KC to
Oh, you
Waco.
drove there?
Oh yeah, it's Midwest, baby. We drive everywhere. What do you
Okay,
mean?
okay, nice, nice.
Yeah, drove there, drove back Monday. I worked from home Monday, so I was technically like in conference calls the entire trip up here. I'm sure my
Nice.
car was not annoyed with me at all.
Yeah, you got to stay on the clock during the drive. Okay, it
Oh
all makes
yeah.
sense now.
Oh
It all makes
yeah.
sense now.
Crooked TOs.
Yeah.
No, but I'm
uh,
I'm so excited to be on here for in another Great Lakes Hot Takes. I have most of my notes done. I got like a portion of them done.
Yeah.
There's
Before we dive into Rise and Grind stuff, really quick, I just wanted to talk about Summit, and I did not open up the Summit page before this.
oh
But Myron was the first person to get voted in. And unfortunately, Onan got eliminated, which
that's
is a travesty.
like immediately, right?
Yeah,
It's all over
like
it.
I mean, I kind of saw it coming. Like I didn't think the community at large would vote for a Steve, but like, I mean, he's definitely on the level to be somebody that would be entertaining to watch at Summit. You know what I mean? So it's a little unfortunate, but whatever.
I completely agree with you, but Michigan kind of like they got lavish
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
we
was a
used
lot.
we used all of our money on lavish. So
The Michigan community is now poverty. There's no more money in Michigan. They spent it. It was the entire operating budget from the city of Detroit went to get lavish and
yeah.
uh,
Oh, and the second person to get in is actually Ouch, the Wolf player, right?
that was quick.
Yeah, he's been popping off. The next one is in 51 minutes. Um,
Oh, I think
so
not.
Apollo Kage is still alive. If you have votes, if you voted for somebody that got eliminated, you get half of your votes back. So make sure to go back to the summit page and reuse them. If
Yes,
you are out there and you voted for Onan,
please get our boy in.
yeah,
AK
get
deserves
Apollo
it.
Kage in.
He really is the GOAT.
Yeah, he's been going crazy in brackets recently, and we'll definitely be talking about him soon. Um, but yeah, any other comments you have about Summit?
Myron's a funny guy. I was telling you before we went live. He was at Rise and Grind, like paying people to vote for him, like reimbursing the 5. Everybody's doing it on Twitter now. They're like, yeah, we got one guy to like reimburse you if you send him a video, but Myron was like the first. He was there. He was doing Metafy lessons the
Yeah,
whole weekend, getting people to vote for him. So he
I
he grinded it.
I was thinking when they first announced, like when Onan first announced that they were gonna run, um, I was thinking about doing like a if you sign up you get $5 discount at the next KJES event, but I didn't have any events between when Onan announced and Summit, so it was just unfortunate. But that was going to be my equivalent of paying for Onan, was taking a cut out of my next TOing job. But it
Hey,
is what it is. I'm glad I
it
didn't
is
commit because we probably still would have lost anyway.
it is just unfortunate. It'd be like that, you know.
Yeah.
But Odin's still a really goated player. There's still a chance for him to get in, as far as I know. Shine.
Yeah, he was tweeting
So,
that he might try and go to Shine.
yeah.
We'll see. He's already missed some school from the debacle with Rise and Grind, so we'll see if he can get in. Go to Shine this weekend.
See what his parents say.
Yeah.
So we talked about it last week. Biggest thing to body smash players are their parents.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Man, speaking of Rising Grind though,
Yeah.
you
We can
into
go ahead
it?
and transition over to talking about Rise and Grind.
Getting the weeds.
Um,
It's a
I
lot
guess
of
I can
weeds.
talk about some players first since I have the shorter
Do it.
list of them. And you can pretend to listen to me while you make some more notes about people.
No, you're good. I'm all ready to go. I want to hear it.
All
Give me
right.
this the sauce.
So while we're talking about Onan, we could just keep talking about him. He got 7th at this one. He lost to Louis Money on winner's side, and that was a crazy match. Louis was playing out of his mind. Palatino looks pretty good against Steve. And yeah, went to game 5 there, I believe. Oh no, 3-1, 3-1. And then on loser's side, he lost to Anathema, who ended up getting 2nd. So not a bad loss because Anathema was on fire that night. But obviously, I really wanted to see Onan versus Leo again. We kind of got robbed from that. A little disappointing,
A
but
little
whatever.
bit.
And then the other big player who finished just ahead of Onan from the Great Lakes region, Ned, who got 5th. He was playing crazy. Got eliminated by the 2 Robs, Zamba and Anathema. But yeah, his run was super sick. Who did he? Hold on. He got 2 upsets, I believe, to get there. Yeah, he beat Epic Gabriel 3-0 and then Siskwi 3-1 to make top 8 winner side, which are pretty huge wins. And then Raven King got an upset on Mute Ace and then got double eliminated after that. But still, the Mute Ace win was pretty sick. Respect to Raven King.
That's the boy. That's the
he's
boy.
usually tuning in. So if you see this Raven King, shout outs. Good run.
Friend of the show, Raven King.
Friend of the show, Raven King. Yes. Atada had a huge run. He kind of had Midwest kills. Oh, Raven King in the chat. What's up?
There you go.
But yeah, Atada, he took out Cosmos and Skittles on winner's side before losing to Jared, the Shulk player that popped off this weekend. I had never heard of that guy, that Jared is King dude.
You gotta read up on your PNW players, man. Jared, I should have read up a bit more on him because Jared did way better than I thought he would. But like,
man, and then oh, sorry. And then Atada was also another victim of Anathemas. Anathema was creating a bloodbath this weekend.
Did you know that this was like one of the longest loser runs? There was a post about this. I think it was Jackie Peanuts. This is added to the list of longest loser runs at a major that any player's ever made. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see. He came from losers of pools.
Yeah, he lost to... I gotta pull it up. I have no clue. Lost to Burr.
Dang.
No. Burr's good, though. That's, like, not a bad loss. And then they just, like, be like, all right, I got Kazuya. Just run all the way through the second.
No big deal.
Absolutely crazy.
And then Cosmos had a pretty good performance. I would say, a little bit of an underperformance for him, but not too bad. He lost to Tad on winners, and then he lost to Nico, Niko. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's Texas Cloud.
Yeah, lost to him on loser side. And I think that's really it for my region.
You talk about Cosmos? Oh, you were talking about Cosmos. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might be it. There wasn't that many Great Lakes players.
Yeah, there wasn't a ton of Great Lakes players there, but 2 of them did make top 8.
I know.
Which is pretty sick for the amount of representation we had.
One made 9th as well.
Yeah.
2-8, 1 9th, only like 5 players in attendance. So like pretty goated overall.
All right. Before I let Booker just take over the mic for the next hour and a half, if you have any takes, join the Discord, which just got posted in the chat. and post in the takes channel. And if we like your take, we will pull you on. If you want to say anything about Rise and Grind, anything about how busted Steve is, your opinions on the new Summit voting system, we'll pull you for anything.
You call us names.
Yeah, you can call in and say that, greedy TOs are stealing all of our
Yeah.
money.
Don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh man, is it my turn? Yo,
Yeah, go ahead. Go
I'm so
ahead.
excited. Let's go. Let's jump into it. So Heartland, a lot of them. There's a lot of Heartland at this tournament. I was going over like the names previously. A lot of Nebraska, chunk of KC, chunk of SoCan, weird amount of South Dakota. I'll talk about them first. SGF, Springfield, Missouri, had some boys in here. St. Louis only sent a couple people, did very well though for themselves, I would say. Yeah, that's like kind of like the long list of it. I'll get right in with South Dakota though. 3 PR players went unseeded at this tournament.
Really?
Yeah, 3 PR players. Creus, Bradiac, and Radiant just not seeded at all.
The
Creus is one.
disrespect.
I know. Creus is 192nd seed. Bradiac 271st. I think he had to fight like who did he lose to? He had to fight Ned as his winners round 2. Or winners round 1, because he had like he was so far like such a low seed that he had to play the match before going into Ned, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then Radiant had the same thing into Cosmos. Like these are all PR players. So Radiant's number 9, Bradiac 6, Crease is 5. I don't. This is a weird situation. South Dakota's not a very recognizable region. I say like on paper, like if I list you all the players there, you'll be like, okay, no, like maybe one, right, maybe
Mm-hmm.
2. They don't go to a lot. It's really hard for them to get out to stuff. So seeing an entire carpool of their PR players just roll up to Texas, of all places, they're rolling up here. Uh, it's crazy. And these 3 other guys, this is their first big tournament. I guess 2 of them, Radiant and Creus. This is like their first big tournament. Bradyak's
Okay.
gone to a couple things. He's had some middling performances, I would say, things like Riptide and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Yoshi main. He didn't do spectacular, but I'll say that about all of them. However, when you have such a low seed in DE brackets, there's only so like you're fighting up against a lot, because when you're fighting against Cosmos or Ned, like literally around 2, um, you really just have one tournament life, you know.
Yeah.
Like you got to make a huge upset immediately. Like that's a really hard thing to do right off the back. So I don't think that their placements necessarily tell the whole story
Mm-hmm.
about their playability. Um, but Radiant losing to Cosmos and Meg, that's like unranked Texas player took him out. Um, what Creus lost to Tenny in winner's side, and then another unranked Texas player, Squiffy. Bradiac, he lost to Ned and Brandon. So it's like it's kind of rough. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if it really tells the full story. Like obviously they lose to Texas unranked. So obviously that's not good, right?
Yeah.
Um, but there's a lot of pressure when you're sitting in losers. So I don't know. I think South Dakota with those 3 PR players, I want to see them come out to more, because I feel like we still haven't seen like their potential as players. I don't want this to be like really writing home about it.
Yeah,
Um,
one thing I always think about players that have like very limited travel experience, I think lots of times they tend to underperform cuz
right.
those are like their first times like having crowds that aren't necessarily rooting for them, or like, being in these environments that they're not used to, traveling in like that. Obviously that's a lot different than pulling up to your local or driving to a regional when you're like staying in a hotel and stuff.
Yep.
um so like just getting used to that can really throw off a lot of people's like performances at bigger tournaments.
No, I completely
So
agree.
definitely like it's not like oh, you flopped at this one event or you only got 3-2 or whatever. Like I wouldn't say like that's, signing your signing your will to that.
Death warrant. Is that you're
Yeah, the
going
death
for?
warrant, that's the
The
word.
death
That.
warrant, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. And I want to look at the 4th place. There was one last South Dakota player that showed up. That was Crows. Crows is really goaded. He how do I describe his in region? He's number 3 right now. He used to be number 1. He's under Jbrev and Jace right now. So Jace was previously White Fang. It was White Face, got changed to White Fang, now moved over to Jace. And they're like the Ridley, who's number 1 in South Dakota currently. But that's like a new thing. Like normally it's Crows. He's really the number 1 up there. It's and I've heard Crow Z. It is Crows. He has yelled at me before, and if I'm saying it wrong again, he's gonna yell at me again. My bad. Um, but he's like goated Mega Man, like really, really solid Mega Man. When we're looking at Heartland, Heartland's typically known, especially pre-quarantine. Not as so much now. Pre-quarantine, tons of Mega Man up there. Sandy, who I'll talk about a little bit later. Brainiac, Cashmere now. Previous the who's a really previous
Yeah.
PGR player. Um, like they have a lot of Mega Man up there. Like oh Toffee's in KC. He's also a fantastic Mega Man player. So yeah, you really have to know how to fight the character if you're going to be on the Heartland. It's a little bit different these days, but Crow's still very very good as a player. I would say when it comes to his performances in Heartland, he has a bit of a rough time really getting like those wins, like those consistent wins, and we've seen this with players before. I'll talk about MD a bit later. Um, when you don't have easy access to travel, I can't go to like the big out of region events. Or not incentivized to go to the big out of region events all the time. You miss a lot of player matchup experience, and so when they get put in these situations against characters they're not really used to, like South Dakota doesn't have a lot of. They don't have a lot of Toon Links. You're still able to do that, but they don't have a lot of certain characters, right? So sometimes you'll see them get rough placements or middling placements, but you get matchup checked. That's the ultimate for you,
Hmm.
honestly. Like I feel like we see that all the time. People just get matchup checked by things. It's like, oh man, why did you get placed there? He's like, you fought the world's best Piranha Plant. Whoops, my bad. I did not in the
Yeah.
Piranha Plant matchup.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
no matter like your region, no matter what, is always going to be limited. Like you're never gonna have, there's 80 something characters in the game. You're never gonna have every rep in whatever region you're in, even the bigger population areas. So it can definitely be pretty easy, especially if you don't get out of your own region that often, to just, yeah, like you said, run into something that's gonna blow up your run.
it's a pain. You'll get frustrated with this game a lot. And I think that's really one of the reasons. There's so many characters, like 80 odd characters, 90.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the number right now. People get so in their head about it, but if you lose to people like characters you're not familiar with, it sucks. You just gotta take the L. It's just like, oh man,
Yeah.
I didn't know how that character worked. But going over Crow's run, placed or he was seated 72nd, so out of top 64 already. There wasn't a lot like similar to a lot of the people's expectations on players from the Dakotas. I don't think that they expected like a whole bunch out of them.
Mhm.
But I think you're sleeping on the boy because he got 33rd, beating Jojo the Hobo, which is a PNW Toon Link. I think he's currently the best Toon Link in North America, placements wise. It's like him and Marvelous Marco that are really like duking it out. Marvelous Marco,
Mhm.
of course, outplaced him this time. So that's like eighth in Western Washington, did really solid against him. And then he was a victim to Atomic, and Atomic, I think he got ninth, unranked Texas player, came and got ninth at this tournament, just like crushing face with Rob.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember because I didn't get a chance to watch the Onin Atomic set. I don't know if it was on stream, but
it
people were
was.
like, "Oh, Onin just beat Atomic Game 5," and I was like, "Who? I don't
Yeah,
know who this guy is. Sorry,
never heard of him.
I don't know why this is a hype match, but all right." And then I looked at the bracket, was like, "That was for ninth." Holy, oh my god.
Yeah, 104th seed or something stupid getting ninth. Like,
Yeah.
crazy run from Atomic. He did get a little bit of an easier run at the top 64. I think that might have been Tweak side. I'd have to look. I'd have to look who got DQ'd. Atomic took some Z. Crows was in the same situation though. Crows was supposed to fight like Meister.
Oh yeah,
Um
Atomic or Crows took
Cola.
Cola's spot. Yeah.
Well,
And Atomic took Elegant's spot.
yeah, so like they got in a little bit easier on that top side. They're like really the next favorite to do it.
But
But
still, he
But he beat Big Boss. Like Atomic immediately went into Big Boss. He beat Crows. Who else did he beat? Was that it? I thought he beat somebody else. Maybe that was it. And then he almost beat Onin. So
yeah, he went to Game 5 with Onan.
Jesus, I know. This is spooky. And good. Those are good players.
Yeah, Texas has
Texas,
apparently a lot of killers.
Texas got hands. Oh man. But yeah, so I'd say Crows kind of closing out with South Dakota segment. 70th Heartland Showdown, 25th Level Up Arena. I know he can do well. I think he just needs to like practice more consistently at these bigger events. He travels a bit more. We're going to be seeing him as a bigger threat. But as of right now, he's I don't want to put the word hidden boss out there too much because he is ranked in his region, right? When it comes to the Heartland, he's a player that people aren't typically like looking at as someone who's going to be taking a fantastic bracket run. And he's really still fishing for that one tournament. I was hoping this might have been it because I was really expecting him to beat Atomic and then to go into Big Boss and maybe like people show off what he can do there. But Rob also has hands, so he just had the Rob bracket regardless. And I think who took him out in the losers? I said his name already. Um, Gosh, I think it was my boy Kronos. Yeah, he threw
Yeah,
out
Kronos.
they don't have snakes there. That's the thing too. It's like he don't really have snakes in specifically South Dakota, so I'm sure he just doesn't have as much matchup experience with that one. And getting 3-0'd, that sucks. That sucks to see, you know. South Dakota though, I'll say overall for their performances with it. We could see more. I'm expecting to see more out of them. SGF, this one was a little bit upsetting. This one's gonna be upsetting here. So SGF has got like MD and Indecisive. MD previously going by Goose Fancy, so Pokemon trainer, very solid player. First seed going into this, lost to Chronos and Winners. Was close set there. Immediately had to fight Cannon Red. I hate Jigglypuff, and I can only expect MD's pretty similar with it.
Uh-huh.
MD kind of got rocked by Cannon Red, and then I don't want to say like 77 seed placing 97. That's not like that's where you placed your seed essentially, and this is a harder bracket, right?
Hmm.
I think we had a lot of DQs. I'd still say there was a lot of top talent here, so I don't think MD's bracket was easy by any means. Um, but MD's after early Ultimate, we've seen this from a couple players, like early, like post quarantine results. Some of these players just needing to like go out of their shells a bit and like have to grind a bit more to get to see those are the results come back. Because as it like right now, MD's just not being able to get those peaks. They're consistent now, right? MD is very consistent, but it's I think they can do more. I think they just need to find I don't know, Pokemon Trainer can do it. Pokemon Trainer just gotta believe in it, you know? Gotta really
Hmm.
grind out those matchups because like I said, you just run into somebody you don't know. Jigglypuff Pokemon Trainer. I don't know that matchup, right? Like
Yeah.
I guess I'd expect a Pokemon Trainer to know like a little bit more than me on, and then that's perfectly fair. But you're just gonna get rocked sometimes by matchup. Mm. So I don't even consider that one an upset, Cannon Red over MD. I just think that they're pretty similar. That's Oklahoma's #1 right now, by the way. Oklahoma popped off of this event. Yeah, Oklahoma like hard popped off of this event. It was like Superberry got top 64, did pretty good on it. Cannon Red did well. I'm trying to look who else did. C3's Texas. There's another player that did really well on it. I can't remember off the top of my head. Um, but yeah, MD kind of middling. Unfortunately, place their seed. I want to see more out of them. And then Indecisive. So this is an interesting storyline here. Indecisive has never been to like a big event. So Indecisive's like not a hidden boss because does get PR'd, but doesn't go anywhere, right? So stays in town. So like Rayquaza, right? You're familiar with Rayquaza.
Yes.
Sure, you're from Michigan, so I'd expect you a little bit, right?
Yeah. Rayquaza is like a specter that haunts the entire scene.
Yeah,
People talk about him all the time. But go on.
yeah. Rayquaza lives in he goes to Mizzou right now, and so that's like Columbia,
Hmm.
Missouri, and he doesn't leave. He'll go to events that they happen there. So like the zoo, you'll see him at the zoo, and that was like the big thing, right? People were talking about Twitter about him there. But he won't go anywhere else. And Indecisive was a very similar situation. It's really funny because they both play Snake. Um, Indecisive, finally, first big out of region event. I had high hopes because Indecisive's like good, right? Just newly minted #2. Him and MD trade off that #1 spot in SGF a lot. We already know how good MD is. So seeded 108th. I think that they seeded him pretty fairly overall. Got 65th. And I don't think it's like bad. I really don't. Like I know not getting top 64 at this event, sure, but a first big major, like that much pressure on you to perform well. Um, he ended up beating Moppin, like Alabama's #4, so that's like a really solid win overall. He got a PR win there, and then he lost to like Chunky Kong. He did get upset. He did get upset as round 1 to Tispe, which is like an unranked Mega Man from Dallas, I think. Maybe
Hmm.
he's just from Texas, but I think overall pretty good. So I'd
I
say
I imagine if Texas had a show like this week, they are going crazy with how many upsets they got. People are calling in left and right to say we're the best region ever.
I know, I know.
Our unranked players could wash every state in the whole country.
I'm convinced right now, after all the scenes that I've been to and seeing unranked players, it's like Chicago and Texas, right? Like I think those guys are just really, really good scenes. And Texas is huge. Like keep in mind, they're like 13 states or something stupid. The size. Maybe it's like 7 states. So they're huge. So I think the two of those those regions fought. I think that they'd be pretty fun. But they got tons of upsets. They were just taking names. So yeah, you're right. I don't know. That's something different. They got something in the water over there. Um, but yeah, so Indecisive, I'd say pretty good showing first out of region. I was actually I was pretty happy with that. Losing to Chunky Kong, like that's not a bad loss at all by any
Yeah,
means.
especially after Chunky Kong's run at Super Smash Con. It
Right,
proves that
exactly.
he's got the juice right now. So
And I actually think it was close. I'm looking it up. I'm pulling a bracket right now. No, it was not. It was that close. It was close 2-0 maybe.
yeah.
Last one for SGF. Last one I'll talk about is Buddha Bam. Buddha Bam, new to SGF, previously number 15 North Carolina. They're partners with MD, so that's kind of like why the move happened there. They're probably going to be hitting SGS PR. Got 97th. They lost to Danby and Chag, which is like when you hear that, because Danby got upset in winners, like that sucks. Like you went into two of the favored like top 16 seeds immediately. Like that's what you lost to. So I think Buddha Bam saw that's like their wolf there. Really leveling up the region, I would say so. Oh, SGF, it's pretty okay. I think it's pretty okay overall. Not too bad of the performances there. What else I got here? You were right. I'm talking for an hour. My bad.
We do have one take, so
Oh,
we'll
do
try and
it.
get.
Take it ahead.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Oh, you want me to bring the take in?
You
We'll
want to do
just
it? Yeah.
we'll
We'll
pick up the rise and grind later. Okay.
we'll put a pin in it if you
Yeah.
want to
All
put the
right.
take on. Who do we got? Someone phoning in.
It's Raven King, the friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Raven King, if you are still watching, can you join the callers voice channel?
Yeah, get in here.
Anyone else, if you have any takes, we will be taking them anytime. Just join the Discord and post in the takes channel. And if it doesn't suck, we'll bring you on.
Really quick before that though, before Raven King comes on, support AK for Summit. Hashtag get AK top. So
Yeah,
we're
the
pushing on
AK
here.
still got a spot. There's still one spot left, I think, one or two. And he is still alive. So go out there, and if you have votes, if somebody you voted for got eliminated, you get half of your votes back. So you can still vote for him even if you voted for somebody that lost. All right, we're gonna bring Raven King on now.
Get him in here.
All right, Raven King, hello.
Hello.
How is it going?
Chilling. Exhausted.
All right.
I'm exhausted for traveling, but chilling.
Yeah. Yeah. How was your experience at Rise and Grind? How did you feel about the event overall?
It was pretty good. As like a CAGT event, I knew it was gonna be good, and it never failed to disappoint me. CAGT ran an amazing event overall. It was a very good event from a competitor standpoint.
Nice.
Good to hear it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Raven King, what is your take tonight?
So I decided like to spice things up a little bit. This is not like a Midwest take, but kind of like an improvement take. You know how like what some people say, like if you got like all the best resources, you'll be able to prove officially. While it's true for some people, there are some people though that it may improve better by sometimes not having all the best tools available, but instead be able to think creative solutions to get around it. If that makes sense.
It's like creating weights when you don't have any.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Okay.
It's not bad. Not a bad take.
Do you have like an example maybe of players that come to mind when you're thinking about this?
Well, so funny thing is like I think a big example I can think of off the top of my head is the former best player in the world in Smash 4 with Zero, like how he improved instead of just like during like the Brawl era, he would take every tournament experience he can and just write down every little detail. Like, granted, it was a huge amount of like it was like working a job kind of thing, but he did have access to Wi-Fi. He literally was living on poverty, but he literally made the most of it, and then he eventually became the best player in the world during in one game. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
I get you.
that's definitely a good example. I was thinking, obviously my head goes to like the Wi-Fi warriors.
Mhm.
Like Onan for the biggest example, like he didn't even really play the game beforehand, and lots of people would say that Wi-Fi is not the best place to get practice. Um, but you know, he came out of it and was already like taking names like
Mhm.
immediately. So
Mm.
I think there's definitely, because you know we have some players, like we've had Zenodo in our region forever, right? And
Mhm.
Zenodo is really friendly and will like play friendlies with you and give you advice. So like in like my head, anybody that could play against Zenodo should be able to very easily climb the ranks, because he's like just such a easy resource to get like, you know, any advice or like training or anything.
I agree.
um
Mhm.
and so we like, but we haven't really seen too many people like skyrocket from that compared
Mhm.
to like the Wi-Fi warrior Onan.
Yeah.
Like, and we have a couple other examples of like people that popped off during Wi-Fi, like Blue Boo and a few others. But
Mhm.
yeah, what's your thoughts on this, Booker?
I think that based on what I'm hearing is that we should all pull a Sean. We should live in our cars and just travel to every tournament possible, and that's how we're gonna get good.
I mean,
Being
I've gone.
being poor is the move. That's what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, just live in your car.
Don't let your memes be memes. I don't think Sean's poor. I think he's just living out of his car. He's just It- it's like van life for Smash players.
Yeah.
He should have really TikToked. That was a lot of wasted content.
Yeah, he should have been like vlogging or something.
Yeah, because like no one else is gonna do that shit, really.
Like waking up in the McDonald's parking lot about to go farm SoCal. Give me a second.
Yeah, he
Right,
could
I
have
need
made like a ranking of like the freest region, you know?
I need to answer back
SoCal
against
number one.
Chase's tweets. Let me go back get the hands.
Yeah, I know. I know. Oh man, Texas did have hands.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
thank you for the take, Raven King.
no
Solid as
problem.
always. It's nice to hear from you.
For sure.
Congratulations on your PGR win.
Mm-hmm. Thank
I
you,
saw
thank
I
you.
saw the 5 back airs. That's good. Really using the resources that you have available.
And I'm like, people complain, but I'm like, it's part of the game. And I was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, what do I have to lose for sparing those back airs?
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
You know, everyone else should really just get good, is what I'm hearing.
Indeed, indeed. Don't complain. Just get good. I keep telling this to people, and they don't.
You know, we can extend, this is beyond Raven King's take, but we'll keep him on for this. Something I think about a lot in lots of other games, like League of Legends, for example. I don't know if you guys watch competitive League of Legends, but like people will just pick the best characters in the game. And it's like there isn't like interviews where players are going like, "Oh, that guy's so lame for playing Sivir," or whatever the meta character is at the time. And like the culture is a lot more like you'll get made fun of if you don't play the meta characters. They'll be like,
Oh,
why isn't he practicing the tanks? Like, the tanks are the meta right now. Why isn't he playing them? And like, it's weird that Smash is like, has like almost the complete opposite, where like people just think like, if I can complain enough, people will just stop playing the character or stop playing the way I don't want them to. But, you know, it's not going to stop you from taking L's, is the thing.
it's funny
Nah.
too because like the League community like complains a lot. I know we
Oh, I
all
mean,
do.
they
But, like they'll
complain
complain
about
a
the
lot, but
characters.
they'll just still play the most busted
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
in that
They'll
match.
complain about the game, but they won't complain about other competitors.
Right.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting.
All right. Well, want me to get back into this Rising Grind talk?
Yeah,
Kick
yeah.
you out of
Thanks
here.
for
Get
coming
out of
on,
here.
Raven King.
No problem.
Nice to talk to you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, have a good night.
You too.
If you're just tuning in, that was friend of the show, Raven King.
Our first caller in 3 weeks. Thank goodness.
First color, Raven Goat. There you go. Shout out to Hunter FGC. All right, where were we? KC, the boys. You know, I was right. KJ's, I was right. I said Rocky's gonna have his run back performance. He's gonna bounce back immediately. 25th at Rise and Grind, seeded 32nd. So basically, like same sort of placement. I think he might have like outplaced 1 seed. I'm not sure. I have to look. But he got upset because Rocky's just gonna lose to some people. Lost to Kirby Kid 2-1. He lost the K Rule matchup with Pac-Man. It hurts my soul to see it. It really does. I don't know, man. Kirby Kid just uses fair a lot.
Yeah, K Rule, like we have a K Rule in our region, Copal.
Copal, yeah.
He is a demon. He takes out a lot of people.
Oh, it is.
Sometimes it's just like, I think especially it's like a test of patience. And if you just aren't in the right mindset for the day to watch that K Rule stand in the corner and throw crowns 7 times, like you might just lose.
That is true. I will say that. There's a lot of just patience checks characters. Yeah. K Rule is one of them.
You just gotta watch him throw crown. You watch him stand there holding the blunderbuss and sucking in for 2 seconds. You watch him do his up B that's too hard to punish for no reason.
Yep. And just chills out. That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, well, he lost to him. He went and beat Super Bears. That's Oklahoma's like me brawler. Kid's really good. Kid's actually really, really good. So just Super Bear, good run. And then he went and just beat Chag. He just 3-0'd Chag. It wasn't even close, was what I heard. Palu loses. No, that's a bad thing to say. Palu sometimes it does not have as good of a winning matchup against Pac-Man as I've been led to believe, I feel. After seeing Six Master beat Louis Money at Lua, like Rocky 3-0ing Chag here. I don't know what it is. I've always heard that Palutena was a really bad matchup, but they seem to do it. Maybe you just got to study the matchup. I don't know. I mean, the matchup's just like a lot harder. And then lost 2-3 to Burr. Almost took out Burr, but Rocky ended at 25th place. Not too bad. I'd say pretty good showing. I think I was talking to the KC guys. I think they said that he would be number 1 if he just like had so few less losses. Like Rocky just like sometimes loses to people. It just happens. Otis had said Rocky plays Pac-Man, not Smash. That's what I've heard.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
All right, Despay. Next up, Despay. 3rd in KC's. We're moving up the ladder a little bit here. Got 33rd. 1 placement worse. Did get beat by Jared is King. Had to fight Mutace. Dropped to both of them because Mutace got upset really early. So it just blows. Like, gets out of pools and winners, goes into Jared is King. It's like, all right, wow. Shulk Bayo's not a good matchup. And Jared just came off beating Lima, right? Like 2-0'd Lima like it was nothing. Loses to Jared immediately, has to fight Mutace first round of losers. Like, good luck. It's like
it's one of those, that you always see people tweet about it that's like lost to 1st and 3rd seed for 17th or whatever.
Or
it's
like
one of
25th,
those kind of experiences where like losing to Mutace is definitely rough for getting, what did he get, 33rd?
Yeah, exactly. Like those are lost to 7th and Mutace. I think it was like 7th and 9th. Yeah, so did get a shoe win. So that's a Colorado win. Placements don't show it. I will say it till the day that I die. Placements don't show it, but Jared is in fact king in this matchup. Did take that dub. So I want to see some good things from Despade. I just convinced them to go to Riptide, so you will see them at Riptide. You'll see the goated Bayo over there. Lastly, talking about newly minted players, number 8 on the KCPR, the TO Extraordinaire Campaign, this Kazuya. Placed his seed. It's like, oh, he got 129th. Okay. Lost to Ned. Lost to Ned and like Chango. I don't even know who Chango is. Look, I'm sorry, Chango, if you're watching this. If Chango is somehow watching this, don't roast me. Oh no, that's actually right. I was gonna say another Texas unranked. No, this is number 6 in Central Texas, so Chango's not bad.
Okay, finally a ranked Texas player. It's fine to lose to a ranked Texas player.
You're allowed to lose to them.
Yeah.
But second best Kazuya in the Midwest campaign, because the first one also was in attendance. Too many Kazuyas here. If it's more than like 0, I'll put it on as too many. The second one, because like that's KC. KC did. I think it's meh. I'm gonna say meh a lot because like I would say maybe okay, Like getting that Chag win, getting that shoe win, like those are good things to have to your list.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't say like you won the event overall. 25th, that's all right. Rocky getting 25th, way better than the Smash Ground performance at least. So we got that to put our laurels on. But Pika, so I don't know if you're familiar with Pika. Do you know any Nebraska players? Can you list off more than one Nebraska player?
Only
Curious.
Skittles.
There you go.
Wait, is Tony Z Tank from Nebraska?
He is.
Okay.
He's retired, but yeah.
Yeah, those are the two that I know.
There you go. So Pika, number 4 in Nebraska. It was previously like lower level Nebraska. There you go. Yes, Epic Gabe is now there, by the way. I was gonna bring him up, but
Okay.
Pika's like the best Kazuya right now. And you could see it with his performance. Seeded 91st, got 49, so got in there. Wins on Mega Fox, almost beat Burr. 2-1 on Burr, like lost to Burr barely. I heard it was like a last stock situation. I lost to Ronnie Chu and then brought down Toxex. And Toxex is like, I think that's another. It's gonna be unranked Texas, isn't it? I can't remember what his name was or what his thing was. He's oh yeah, he was he's a New Hampshire player. He was 70th seed.
Okay.
He's number 2 in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Wherever
so
that
that's
is.
a pretty good win.
That's a pretty good one. People are like, oh yeah, Nebraska, never heard of the people there. And you're like toxic. So I'm like, I don't know New Hampshire's PR. Like I can keep track of Vermont, like all 6 people who live in Vermont.
Yeah, I mean, in defense of Nebraska, they have for like being no slander towards Nebraska here, for being a state that most people like couldn't tell you an identifiable thing about the state. They have a lot of like strong players, like very good players.
Here's my hot take. New England needs to hop off the NE abbreviation. That's my hot take. That's Nebraska's first.
True.
Y'all can get out of here. New England's free as fuck. I'll say that. They didn't even come out here. They body us sometimes. I think it's trades. It's trades back and forth.
Okay.
Maybe. I can only I have to walk back my hot takes because I'll get.
Yeah. You walked that back in like 10 seconds.
Walked it back immediately. I will say that was first. So get off the NE abbreviation. Start throwing hands. No, Pika did really well. I don't think Pika's been going to a lot of things too. If my encyclopedia knowledge and PG stats has anything to say about it, one of those is more important than the other. But I think, oh god, if I look up Pika, there's like 80 different Pikas.
Of course.
Awful. See, this says he plays like Pokemon trainer, but I know that's not true. He plays a good character now. Like Pokemon trainer is bad. But solid show from Pika. For those who don't know, Hunter said in chat, Epic Gabriel is now living in Nebraska. Not ranked yet in Nebraska because he hasn't been going to enough. But he was second on Central Florida. He's a really good player, I've been told. I've heard. Do tell. Got 17th though. So was a little bit of, I don't know. I don't want to use the term lackluster when you lose to Ned and Anathema, right? Like those are his losses.
Yeah, he lost to 5th and 2nd. That's another one of those runs.
I think he did beat Nico, right? So he got a win there. I think the actual lacklusterness, and he's probably frustrated about it, right? Getting 0-3 by both of them. Right, he got double rocked immediately, and he's an emotional player, right? I think there's a lot of players that they really let their emotions fly when they play, and you kind of see it reflected in their play style. And when a play like Ned is your person that you have to fight, then you got to go into a Rob Ditto, that's mental chalking. And so I think Epic Gabe kind of ran into that situation this weekend, honestly. But very controversial person in the community. I won't speak on that one. I'll just speak on his play. But got 17, seeded 34. So did outplay Sedu supposed to. I think he was very underseeded personally. I think that was a little bit of a weird seeding situation. But everybody complains about fucking seeding. That's not. Yeah, it's like the lowest hanging fruit to pull. Honestly, I got 2 more players before I get to the meat and potatoes of it. So I'll run through them really quick. Zen, Pikachu, Nebraska. That's their number 3rd. did a little bit rough. I know he was not happy with his performance. Did beat Zai though. Zai is a good win. Zai is from. Oh god, I'm gonna double check because I'm gonna get it wrong. I always get these wrong. I put on my thing there that I was like, yeah, these are all like the Heartland Midwest players, and immediately it's like you forgot Nebraska players. You know, you messed up like which Dakota this player is from. I'm like, my bad. I'm sorry, guys. Because Brady went to a Fargo local. I told him this. I was like, I'm so sorry you went to Fargo, and I just assumed that you were North Dakota. Then I had it in South Dakota first. No, Zai's number 1, Louisiana. Number 1, like it's a weird smattering. It was such a weird smattering of players. You got like number 4 from Alabama, number 1 from Louisiana, number 1 from New Hampshire, all at the same event. Like that's not, you know, you don't normally see that from something like this.
For sure.
But Zai got taken down. But I would say overall, Zema's not happy with his placement. I think the wins are good. He goes to a lot of majors. We don't see like a lot about him too much. I know I've talked about him previously, but he's one of those Pikachu players that just Pikachu's hard to play. I think that's really what it is. Some of those Pikachu players that I know can do really well, but Pikachu is the problem. It's
Jin, who was on 2-3 weeks ago, his hot take at the end of the day was that every Pikachu player is bad, all the way up to Esam. That the character is actually busted, but there isn't a single Pikachu player that knows how to play Pikachu.
This is the Shulk argument all over again. It's like Shulk's number 1, except like people don't play Shulk right. It's like, okay, I don't think he's good then. I've been shown the light after this weekend. Top 3 in this game: Aegis, Steve, Rob. That's it. Joker and Pikachu are good characters. They're not top 3. They're too hard to play. Like, I think, and I was not going to campaign about this. I think when it comes to ease of access and ease of play and how easy a character is, that is so important for it. And Steve's like the odd one out because he is very complex, I would say. But we've seen like his highs, right? Like you look at Pac-Man. Pac-Man's way better than people think, like on paper, because Pac-Man's very complex, has a lot of things to do. But top 3, I don't know. Yeah, Roy Masher, that's top 5 character probably.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to make it top 5, you could put like Roy, and then I would put Palutena in there.
See, I wouldn't, because her nerfs hurt her so bad. Like she's busted, but God, she's just not as oppressive as she used to be.
Yeah, it's true.
I still hate her.
I do think, like you were saying, she has a very easy, like you could very much pick her up and be good with her.
I agree. I do agree with that one. I think it's like at the high points that's really rough to do, like the consistency. We see our top Palus like having rough times, like Louis Money, Heaven Defect, Switch the Fox, like.
But I mean, I definitely agree with you. Like, there's like some of these characters, maybe they do have the juice in them if you want to spend hundreds and hundreds of hours figuring out how to play them and stuff. Yeah. But there's just some of these other ones are just a little easier for only a little less payoff that, you know, work out just fine.
This is why I'm dropping Sora. I'm gonna play like Rob or something. Maybe
just play Rob.
Like, what's the point?
Everyone.
Why would I play Sora? Oh God, why would I put so many hours into a character that just does not do the thing? It's like playing I like Lavish. It's like playing Chrom. Like why? Like you have to try so much harder. You know, you gotta put so much more time into it. When you just play like, we should just all play like Rob. Yeah. That's it. Everybody plays Rob. Sonic. Who's this Master Grass guy? Get out of here. Sonic's not top 5. You're just bad. Get out of here. He's annoying. I'll give you that one. I don't know who Master Grass is. He's probably chill.
He's one of my friends. It's cool.
Yeah. Sonic's not top 5. I'll flame him. All right. Nebraska. We got a tangent. Go back to Nebraska. Sandy's an interesting guy. Used to be like head TOing up Iowa. Used to be really, really solid Mega Man. Still good. Like he still made Nebraska PR. I think he's like getting back into playing a lot more. But he's not traveling that much, right? A lot of playing in region, not pushing himself out. So like this is one of the bigger events that he's really attended in a while. Went 3-2, placed what he expected from him, lost to like Sparkle and Ink. I think Sparkle's on ranked Texas. Oh my God. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, we were talking about Sparkle. Let me look. No, Washington. Thank God. They don't take another soul. I lost a bit of myself in Texas.
we have to ensure that the like Texas versus Midwest crew battle never happens.
No, don't want it. Because it's Inc. Inc. is 13th in Houston. So there you go. Lost to 2 PR players.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
1 PR,
All right,
one
cool,
unknown. There you
cool.
go. Good. Good for me. Nice job, Sandy. I like Sandy. I want Sandy to succeed in life. Sandy's just... I don't think Sandy's like in the grinding mentality right now. So I think that's kind of like the placements are going to really kind of show up because of that. And then lastly, we've all been waiting for Skittles. Seated 21st. I think pretty low. I think that's a low seed for Skittles, but you know, if you're looking at his performances, I was mentioning how his back end of this year have been very like spaced out, hasn't been doing as solidly because he hasn't been going to as much. And his SmashCon was a bit rough. Got 9th at this tournament. Like
Yep.
very, very good. Return to form for the boy. Barely missed out in top 8 too. Like both of his losses. So like you were talking about team kills earlier. He lost to Atata, someone he has tons of sets with, right? He typically wins those sets, but like him going game 5 against Atata or Atata beating him is not like, that's not crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Like we expect we expect him to fight. And then Siski. I think it's Key.
I can't
Siski.
remember. The
They said it.
casters kept saying it both ways, and so I have no idea which way.
I
it's
was
supposed to
pool
be.
captaining, so he told me what it was, but now I'm forgetting it again. It's been a long
Oh.
weekend, I know.
Mhm.
But won game 5 with Siski, won game 5 with Atata, beat Base Mage, beat Burr, beat Yanni, beat Chunky Kong. Like, that is a crazy, crazy run from
Yeah,
him.
and you know that run is like a lot of weird characters. Like
Yep.
it's like DK, Steve, Jigglypuff, Samus. Like just a weird smattering of characters there.
Young Link really is just the low tier destroyer. Like he just is better in like I guess Steve was on there too, but he just has better frame data than you. What are you gonna do? What is Jigglypuff gonna do? It's pain. It's pain and suffering. And then we all have to see what Chunky Kong has to go through fighting that matchup. It's awful. That's so bad. So there you go. Nice shout outs to Skittles. Solid play from the boy. I think this is a really good, like, again, return to form for him. That's it. I finally got through Kansas City. I got 2 more regions. I'll run through them really quick.
Oh my god, 2 regions.
I know.
We got
2
3
regions.
minutes.
2 regions. I'll run them through.
Don't worry, I won't hard cut you off at 8, just like last
Don't
time.
do it.
We can go into DLC hours. It's cool.
SoCan had a rough time. I like SoCan. I like the boys there. They're one of the weaker regions, I would say, on paper and what people kind of consider it comes to Midwest. They're number 1. Justice probably is one of his worst tournament performances. And I got to put into context, you know, TOing the event. Like, he's a really solid TO. So helping out with the event, you know, all the traveling. You'll look like Great Britain. Like, a lot of the European guys did very poorly. And I think a lot of that has to do with traveling. You know, I was talking to Yabuki, who traveled out from Europe, and he's like, yeah, you got jet lag and everything. I'm not even expecting like do well today. And I'm like, it's fine, man. You know, like people put a lot of pressure on players, especially the ones that are traveling. Like I know that you come back from Europe and playing in the US, people clown on you.
Yeah, everybody wants you to lose, you know?
It's hard. That sucks. I'm jet lagged right beforehand, you know. The people are speaking weird languages. Like, I don't know. This is, I guess, Europe, they know English, but it's still just a lot, you know. There's a lot going into it. So I think this kind of a Justice. This kind of we see a poor run like this getting 129th. I don't know. I think he'll bounce back. Hubba Bubba didn't do that well. Azael didn't do that well. They placed roughly around where we really expected them to, I would say. I don't know why I don't see Hubba Bubba's placement here. He didn't play in singles. He totally played in singles. I don't know. But, you know, so can definitely didn't do as well as we wanted to. Finally, SGL. This is the big one. So, Palakage, seeded 10th at this event, got 13th, around the area that we expected to. Was a victim of both Anathema and Siski's bracket runs. He did go game 5 with Siski, got 3-0'd by Anathema. That kid was playing out of his mind, I swear. That Steven kid, oh my god, Anathema is crazy.
Yeah.
AK did win the Snake Dudo, did 3-0 Chronos. I think that's kind of something we expected. 3-0 Beast Mode Paul, 2-0 Trey 5. So, like, got okay wins, got a place he's looking for. We touched on AK last time, right? AK's in this spot where he is consistently getting very good placements at majors. He said, I think he tweeted about like the 13th curse. Like he's gotten 13th to the last few events that he went to, the last few
Yep.
majors. So he's really just having to learn some of these matchups. And I think this traveling's been really good for him to kind of keep his consistency up, but it's just needs that breakout, right? He had that one really good bracket, but didn't end up getting like too far. And I think got 7th at the major that he went to. That was like his breakout. But I know he could do so much more. So I want to see more from him. Gotta put the pressure on him. Hopefully get a summit. What's summit voting at?
I haven't looked at it in a little bit.
T3 Dom just got in. So it's between Apollo Kage and Jazzo. That ran through. That they just ran through that. Holy crap.
Yeah, one person gets in every hour after the first one.
So AK's looking okay. You just got to beat out Jazzo. Did you vote yet?
Yeah. I already gave him my votes. It's cool.
All right.
Chill.
I gotta square up. We gotta get our boy in. So he might get up there. If he gets a summon, I think that'll be really good for him.
Yeah.
And then lastly is Luma. So I've talked about Luma before. Luma's a very emotionally driven player. Luma's the one STL player that's looking for like that bracket run, right? And I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself for it. We've seen it before. These young guys that come in, they put expectations on themselves to exceed, especially when they hang out with other top players, right? Like they really just beat themselves up mentally. I think Aluma's a player that does that to himself. I don't think he's fair to himself, honestly, because he's solid. Like he beat Maupin, that's Alabama's number 4, right? Took him down. Got a win on Velta. He did almost drop a set to Velta. That's an unranked Mega Man because Texas has hands. And then lost to like Yanni and Danby. He lost game 5 to Danby. Not bad losses, but I don't think he really needs to like beat himself up as much. It's not a bad performance out of him. It's not the breakout that he really wants, but he is placing around a seed. Not too bad. I think overall STL pretty consistent right now. That's a consistency. That's always been the problem with Midwest. Even when we get like breakout performances, the consistency is something we don't hold. We got consistency right now with breakout performances. I think we're like overall, I think Midwest is really the best spot that's ever been, competition wise. I think you see that too up in Michigan, right?
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. Like Onan is the best, performing player from Michigan ever. We'll see how long it lasts, but yeah,
forever.
Yeah, hopefully forever.
Onan forever. Onan a million days. Onan. Let's go Onan. That's my goat for real. I like how we just sing Onan's praise. This should be an Onan podcast. Why isn't he on here more? Where's he at?
Well, he was the guest the first episode.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah. The hope is to like bring in players from, each region. But we had a player canceled this morning, and then my co-host canceled in the afternoon, and you had to save the show. So
who canceled on you?
I'm not gonna put him on blast. It's cool.
No,
let's
put him on blast. Give me his. This is hot takes.
They still might come on next week. I don't want to.
I see. We gotta put him on blast. Cool. Where do we need? Do we need players from other areas? You got Chicago. You did Michigan. You got Kentucky. You need Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio. We've got connects, but and Wisconsin we could probably figure it out. But anybody else, if you got people and you think that they'd be down,
Comet. Where's Comet at? Comet's raw.
Yeah, we want Comet to come on. We do. We want
on
him
here.
for sure.
I'll get you. Who should we put? We need someone from GRV.
I think we asked AK, but I think he said that he goes to weekly on Tuesdays or something. I'm not sure.
On Tuesday? That Sue's on Wednesdays. He could skip a weekly. What is this guy? What is he, a grinder or something?
I mean, I'm not gonna tell him to skip
what
a
is
weekly
this?
for our like 20 view podcast.
I'll go fight him.
Yeah.
You should get a Vander on. A Vander's also raw.
Is he cool? I didn't talk to him when he came to Stampede, but
yeah, he's good. He's a kid. He's like 16. He's young, but he's chill. But Onan's like a kid too.
Yeah.
All these kids.
That's okay. I'm also not against the idea of having kids on because they might say more wild stuff.
Yeah, aren't you like 80? You're pretty old.
Shut the. We're into the podcast.
No, we're pretty old ourselves. We're boomers.
I'm 31. I'm 31.
And you are old. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm like the oldest person I know in my region.
Turning 90. Man, you're so right, Hunter. So right.
I didn't know you were gonna turn the flame towards me.
Here to roast you. Shh, there you go. That's funny. Oh, do we got any more like got any like last notes? What do you got this weekend? We got gonna go for some events for this weekend.
Well,
Elrond
this weekend
Walk
is
in
Shine,
Iowa's
right?
happening. Who's going? Let me look at that loop. Let me look at that Bernard's loop tweet. Is it Bernard or who's putting that? Is it Freezy? It's one of the two.
Entirely sure.
I don't know. I do have another hot take. Fucking
Okay, we can do another hot take.
Orion rank is so much better than PG than the PGR. It hurts. That's what
Oh
I'll say.
yeah, you were telling about this
I don't know.
offline.
I think PG stat like the PG stats is cool and the PGR is corny. I think Orion rankings really got the sauce for it. So go support
Gotcha.
those boys. Bernard,
I
Loop, Freezy, my goats.
the explanation you gave offline was like that it's like a
Uh-oh.
corporation running it,
Uh-oh.
and it's
Yeah.
not like a grassroots thing. And I definitely like feel that. Like what at a certain point it's like, why should we listen to what this corporation has to say about our scene? But
Is that
go ahead.
since I'm on the air with it, since we're talking about it. Yeah, I think it's corny that we give a corporation so much power in our scene. Like people act like was it Panic Global is like really altruistic and stuff with the community when they're not actively trying to get as much money out of it as possible. And that's active. That is the case, So that's it's cool. It's cool that they're supporting us. That's awesome. But I don't think don't treat it like anything more than it is, right? It's there. It's a business making money. I
Yeah,
work for
I
a
mean, it
corporation
gets.
now.
I'm sure it gets them more traffic.
Right.
Like doing the PGR gets them more traffic than most other things.
Right.
So.
I just think it's corny that like the rankings for our community that people like go off of are named after their corporation. Like they get to own the ranking.
Yeah. Like usually you gotta pay somebody for that.
Exactly. There's my
That's a good
Nintendo
point.
money.
That's a really good point.
It's
Because
weird.
yeah.
People don't think it's weird. That's weird as hell. Like, get out of here with that. You want to do a ranking, sure. Like, that's cool. But I'm not gonna call this the Chase DeWitt rankings. Like I own that stuff. Like, you do this stuff for the community. But yeah, that's why I support Orion, right? I think the Orion guys got it. I think panel stuff's also a bit cringe. I don't think panels are really like the wave when it comes to stuff. Like when you do local things, sure, you want to take an X Factor. I think X Factor's like, I think we look at results and the results should be what it is. So that's why.
Listen, we have a panel here in Michigan for our PR, and
I've heard.
is drama every single PR season.
Nope.
Which is kind of fun. Like it's fun seeing everybody post, but also it's just like, man, I don't know. I'm split on it. Like I feel bad for the people on the panel because I know like they're not like malicious or anything. And then everybody hates them. It's like, but also everybody wants a PR to exist. So like,
right.
You
gotta get buy-in. I understand that getting buy-in from people is important, but I'd much rather have kind of like an algorithm that's open source, people understanding how things are weighted, is curated, is kept up with consistently. Like you go back and look at Freezy and Bernard's like posts over the past like 3 years. Every single week they have stuff. They have changes. They listen to the community. They work with people, right? Constantly. They put so much time into this. So yeah. Let's go over this weekend's events though. I want to touch on it a little bit. Big old thing. I got this here. Let me send this to you. Let me post this. You got this. You can look at what I'm looking at. KJez. The goat. I typed the goat and you popped up. I don't know.
Somebody just posted in the Takes channel that they want to talk about Omega Rank. Do you know what Omega Rank is?
I do. I think it's weird, but get him in here. Who is it?
Yeah, we can pull him in. His name is Goat. He's famous in Michigan for having very cringe takes.
Good. So... Let me hear it.
All right. Hold on, I'll pull him on.
Omega Rank.
Hey, Goat, you are on the air. Can you hear us? Do you have your mic plugged in? Goat. Usually Lunges is supposed to go sound check people, but obviously he's not here and I can't do it. Just
my Goat's not here. Lunches throwing the podcast.
Okay. Goat didn't. He's muted himself for now. Let's see.
He's afraid.
Okay, so you sent me the Shine ranking.
He's walking it back. No, I sent you that. That's like the stuff
Or,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah,
This
it's the
weekend.
people that are here, the notable
Yeah,
players.
so I got Ultimate Wanted 4, huge France tournament. I was talking to GP. So GP is the he was like the previous head or one of the top TOs in Great Britain. He was running Albion. Um, really, really cool guy. And he was mentioning how the rest of Europe's really gotten up their game when it comes to events. So he was shouting out Ultimate Wanted 4, said it was gonna be a really, really good event. And it's not. It looks like it. It really does look like it. Like, look at those people in attendance. They got 7, what was that, 11, 12? I can't count. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 34. They have 15 countries in attendance. They brought out tons of Japanese players. Got Mexico, they got Shag, SkyJ. Really stacked event. That's probably the biggest. That's gonna be the biggest event this weekend.
Alright,
Out
I
of-
just quickly slapped this image
yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah. Look
screen.
at this. Here we go. Here we go. Shout outs again. Shout outs. Please follow Freezy. He makes these things. What's his Twitter? Let me go get his Twitter really quick. It's Easy Freezy. Go follow him. Guy's
Like
amazing.
EZ?
EAZY.
EAZY.
Yeah,
Freezy.
CIA. Yeah. He does all the graphics for like the whatever the ranking is. I'm forgetting it now. We were just talking about it. They do all the everything for Orion ranking, right? He has all those graphics. He puts so much time into it. So really, really big guy there. So Ultimate Wanted 4 though. Look at that. France. Tons of players. Even Base Mage and Fatality are going out there. That's gonna be an amazing event to watch. Like that's gonna be so. So I think favorite to win. Is MKLo not going to anything this weekend? He's not going to anything.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Hey,
Good
real
for
quick,
him.
I'm going to switch what channel we're in, so
Yeah.
just one sec. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, Goat, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, there he is.
All right, sorry to interrupt your thing, Booker, but we'll take Goat's take and then we
Do
can
it.
keep
Give me
talking.
goat.
All right, so I'm not sure you guys have heard of it, but the Omega rank was a third ranking that came out pretty recently that detailed the first 6 months of the year, kind of in a similar fashion to the Orion rank, but I thought the Omega rank was even better in terms of like presentation and like the overall ranking.
I have seen it. I mean, yeah, I think it's. Anything that does an algorithm, I think, is like got some more sauce on it. You know.
It's like I don't even think like the PGRU like NA and stuff. I thought it was just handled kind of poorly because it was in like a 3.5 month like time period, and it was really weird in how they didn't allow international players on the EU ranking, but allowed international players on the NA rank.
Yeah.
I just thought overall the Omega rank did a really good job of like balancing the international players and taking into account like because it wasn't panel based, it was just pure algorithm.
Yep. Maybe we need to jump around. And we just need to use a new ranking system every single time. It does look good. Like I do like it. I think you and I agree. Anything besides PG, like the PG stats, is like the wave. Honestly, look at this top 10. That looks good.
Like they made like full like player cards for like a lot of players too, going down to like I think the top 50.
Yeah, I was scrolling through their Twitter. They got a lot of
I'm looking at
stuff.
them right now. You got a lot of Steve. Kind of cringe.
I think Steve and Rob were like our most represented characters right now, but
Because they're top 3, right?
true.
See? There you go. I like Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost got good takes.
It's like
Okay.
we're so far into the game where I think it gets harder and harder to dispute results, and Steve and Rob have like by far the best results right now.
Yeah.
So right. He's so right. Goat, so far on the show, you've had the best takes. I appreciate you.
All right.
Oh.
Goat has earned himself a good take. Have a roll.
There you go. Let's go.
weird.
That's what we like to see.
But a lot
That's
of people
my-
are not going to like that.
That's my goat right there. That's my goat. There you go.
All right. Well, Goat. Booker agrees. The Omega ranking isn't that bad. Not too bad.
We'll give it a plus. We'll give it a plus. We get the Booker seal of approval.
Yeah, I just thought the Omega rank like flew pretty under the radar for how like nicely done it was, and like the player cards were also really good. Like they were formatted way better than I thought the PGR player cards were, and I think they were just a little bit better than the Orion rank cards too.
Remember the tier system they tried to do?
For like events.
Yeah, that was no. They did the tier system for like players. The PGR did
Oh.
that. That was cringe. That
I
I
was
I don't
cringe.
even remember that.
I think that I know that was a thing, but I think it's fair to say like, oh, the S plus players are like Leo, Spargo, like Gluto or whatever, and then your S players are like the Buzz, Shuton, Proto, T and whatever. But I think if you
Yeah,
wanted your players, you could. But
but it's like I'm not on a tier list for players. I want to rank you. You know, like if I
Yeah,
want a tier
in my
list.
opinion, that's like the coward's way out. Like,
oh,
Yeah.
you're talking
yeah,
about the players to watch out for thing that they did. My bad. I
Yeah,
thought,
they did like this
yeah.
weird because they like we don't want to do a whole ranking or whatever. We want to just do tiers.
Yeah, they
Um,
did it for the unofficial ranking period last year because they didn't want to commit to a full ranking.
Cringe. That's what I'll say. Cringe. There's my take.
all right. Well,
I
go,
still
uh,
like PG stats and stuff. I think like the PG stats videos they put on YouTube are actually still really good. Like
Agreed.
they recently did like a video for like Regalo and his run in SmashCon, and so that sounds pretty good. But
Yeah, like I think they do have some good content. Like I know the boys out there, like Jackie Peanuts does phenomenal work on that stuff. I just think the PG stats is bad. Or not the PG stats is bad. I think the PG art is bad. That's what I think. And Melee has the same
I
problem with it.
I think like the PGR is fine. It was just handled really badly this season, and I think they'll rebound and get better.
Fingers crossed.
yeah,
I-
really quickly, not to make this PGR thing take too long, but I think they should have never even released this PGR that they did. Like, they should have either made the last season longer or just not done this like third of a season thing or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like,
The
way
3.5
too
ranking
little data.
period was really bad.
the like I don't know, I didn't look too deeply onto the ultimate side, but like the Melee one is just stupid. Like, I think it's very stupid. Like,
I-
you have some players that went to like 3 tournaments, like 2 majors, and got like top 10, and it's like, what does
Yeah.
that even mean?
I think their minimum qualifications were too low because they said you have to go to 2 majors plus 1 regional, or 1 major and 2 regionals or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so you like
Okay.
you have players that, like, I think I'm not going to name specific players, but I think all of the players in the top 10 of Melee are very good.
You're not gonna name them on Great Lake hot takes.
Listen, I don't want to like commit to them and have that be distracting. It
Oh,
always
man.
that always happens where you just say somebody's name as an example and that distracts from the main point. The main point is that like a lot of these players only played against each other like once, or like were only available to even be played against in 1 or 2 brackets, and then got top 10 in the world and like that, or top 10 in North America, and that's just dumb.
I think the biggest problem with it because I don't think Melee has as many like big events as Ultimate does because Melee has
Yeah,
like less
Ultimate's
events
got
and
like
stuff.
1 every 2 weeks right now.
Yeah, Ultimate's got like one every week at this rate. It's kind of crazy. But so like the Melee events are like not as there's just not as many, so there's less data obviously.
Yeah, which makes it more whack. But anyway, Goat, thank you for calling in. Anything you want to shout out? Are you at your local right now? Is Revel on Tuesdays?
Revel was yesterday.
Oh, okay, it's Monday.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
bad.
It's all good. Yeah, I'll just follow me on Twitter at the goat underscore ZSS. I post some Smash stuff there. It's a pretty cool Twitter.
You know what's
And,
funny? I follow you, but you don't follow me. Isn't that
Oof.
crazy?
Oh, all right, Booker. I'll follow you.
I got ratioed by Goat. I got egoed by him.
My bad.
All
my
right.
bad.
Thank you for calling
Alright.
in, Goat.
Take
Have
care,
a good
Goat.
night.
No problem, guys. I'll see you around.
All right, I want to close this out really quick. We'll close out these combos because we got events this weekend. So,
Okay,
Other two.
we're going back to the events
you
this
want to run it
weekend.
through? Yeah, let's
Okay.
run it through real quick. Where's it at? Where's
I
it?
got it back up.
On the screen. Okay. Masuma. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's Masuma, right?
Mhm.
Not Maysuma. It's Masuma top 9. That's huge event. They always have like these really, really giant Japanese events. A
Mhm.
bunch of top players aren't going to be there then because like Ultimate 104 actually sniped him. So Asimo, Shuton, T, Zachary are not going to be there, but Akola, of course, top to win. I want Gak to perform a bit better. I love Gak. Umeki, did you know Umeki is the TO that runs all those as well?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I
Umeki's
did not
like
know that.
he's the best TO. Like he goes and he's the TO that like wins his event. Like he goes there, he's like casually top 50 PGR and just runs all the top Japan events. He's goated. I love Umeki. And then what? Shine?
Yeah, Shine.
Cringe. Cringe. Who's even there?
Uh,
It's
go.
Shine got rocked. See, this is the problem. You get all the majors happening again and again and again and again and again, right? After so
Mhm.
many weeks, people just get tired. Like, look at that. That's all. That's basically all New England players.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's sort of the the same thing of like we have this problem in Michigan where there's just too many weeklies, so nobody wants to travel to any of them. They just go to the one that's closest to them, and we get like no crossover throughout the season, besides like one or two monthlies, and that's sort of what's happening now with these bigger tournaments. Since like you said, like we were talking about, there's like one almost every weekend. Like, why would you fly out when Shine is gonna be in your backyard next week? Who cares?
Exactly. It's like, man, it does suck. It does suck that we're in this state. We're really in this it's late stage ultimate. I saw this in late stage Smash 4. You're gonna start seeing declining, not dwindling, but declining attendance across the board for events. It's just gonna happen. People realize this is what we got now. Um, the majors are gonna get a bit more spaced out because they're just not gonna be able to make as much money. I mean, I think Riptide, I think there's 2,000 less attendings to Riptide than there was last time.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just kind of shows you the big push for ultimate pre-quarantine, like right out of quarantine, and now it's a big difference, right? You say what you want about Riptide as an event. I think it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely something there. I think there's like this passion for competing as much as people just don't have. It's just really bringing burnt out too. But yeah, I think Shine kind of got rocked by it. Shine's like a consistently good major, very high profile, but it looking like what? We'll go say
It's
they got a
looking kind of like a New England regional, basically.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. They got a summit spot at least.
Yeah, yeah. That's why Onan was saying he was trying to go so he could snatch that last summit spot.
Hopefully he'll go there. I think
All right,
he's
you sent me this other image. You want me to put this on screen? The
Do I?
losers.
Oh, I
run?
was yeah. That's like the top losers run. That's interesting. Yeah, if you want to throw it on there. The thing here, this is PG Stats one again. Shout out to Jackie Peanuts. He does like all of these things. He does all this work. But Anathema now joins this as loser runs of 10+ wins at S and S- and A- tier equivalent events. So like we talk about MK Leo's Frostbite 2020 run a lot. That's such a good run. The Buzz just had a really good run at Double Down. I don't think that's getting a lot of like highlights on it because he got fourth, right? Because he lost so early. But look at
Yeah.
this. The other person on here is Anathema. Joins the likes of like what? MK Leo, Gluteny, DeBuzz. So it's kind of exciting. It's kind of some exciting stuff.
Yeah,
Stats are
for
fun.
sure.
This is like the fun stuff. I love going over stats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely your thing. I'm picking up on that.
Yeah. I'm sure. Oh, that's all I gotta say. You got anything else you want to go over?
Oh no, we're in the bonus time, so we don't need to stretch out the show any further than we have already. But Booker, it was a blast having you on again. Maybe Lunges will officially retire and we'll replace you in the Twitter icon or like the Twitter banner.
Oh no.
Me and you.
I could never replace him. I couldn't do it. I love Lunges too much.
But yeah, thank you for coming on. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to run the ad in the middle of this.
Ooh, run it.
If you are still watching somehow, check out Get Cooked 2 in Lansing, September 24th. It's gonna be super hype. It's a charity event. I'm running it. We got like 100 people out last time. There's good food that all goes towards the charity, that you can buy directly in the venue. It's very cool, so you should come out.
Yeah. Somebody, Raven King said we should raid AK.
Well, is AK online? I don't
he's
know how to
streaming right
raid.
now.
I'm a bad streamer.
You gotta pull up the